All right, this is Plymouth rat rod build, part number 14, I believe, and it happens to be the 14th of September, 2014. So good stuff. Made a lot of progress today. Mainly, I got the actual stainless steel gas tank installed. So we welded this probably about 10 days ago, and then I had to take off on a little business trip down south. And this is just the kind of welds that Roland can do for me. So check this out. I'll scan this pretty cool. And what we did is we got tabs on here, or Laschen is what the Germans call them. Also Edelstahltank passen 118 Liter rein. Vielleicht ein bisschen viel, ich muss aber nicht voll machen. And so it fits in here beautifully. It's empty right now, and you can tell it's actually completely sealed because when we welded this thing up, it was actually bowed out because of the heat on the inside of it, but now it's actually created a vacuum. See the vacuum on it? Because it actually sucked it in. So it's been like that for 10 days, so that tells me this thing is actually airtight. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut a recess right in here. Also eine kleine Kerbe hier reinschneiden. And then I ordered from a company called Tanks the PA4 electric 65 PSI fuel pump with a Corvette regulator. Regulator is going to sit up in here someplace. And that's basically it in a nutshell. I like saying that, so you're going to hear me say it a couple of times. Also Tank ist drin. I went ahead and put a big giant stock bar here, and I got 4 8mm bolts here, or M8s they call them, and that's going to hold in the back of it, so I don't think I have any issues. I'll put a little bit of rubber between here on the bottom where I've actually got it sitting. Let me see if I can get down below here so you can see that. And that'll just seal it a little bit. Also from Tanks, I'll go around here, I've got the no recess door coming. Basically this hole right here at a 45-degree angle, this is where my it's one of those little metallic push things. You push it, it pops up, and I'm gonna paint it black. And again, that's the way the car is gonna stay looking right now. What else we got? Here's my little Build-A-Better mousetrap system to pull this thing off and on. And only other thing I did today is I got my exhaust mocked up in here right now. These are basically some Quiet Flow Turbo 3s, and I just got to take this little ball right here and move it a little bit closer over here. It gives me a little bit more room in here. And the idea here is to come out here with a U-bend and go directly underneath here and come out the side exhaust right here. I checked with the German TÜV and also the American inspection station here, and in writing, by regulation, you can actually go out to the side of it as long as you clear the side of the car, which in this particular case would be like 1 centimeter maybe. And I just don't want to have to deal with all this crap coming out the back right here. Although I actually have plenty of room, and it's the same thing I did with the coupe, and come underneath here with the exhaust system. But anyway, passed on that right now. What else I did today is I've actually got myself just a secondary mounting point right here for my front trailing arms. So they're mounted right down here or up here. What that also gives me the capability, probably right around here where this U comes out right here, I'm going to put a recess right in here just so the exhaust can exit right here, because what I hate seeing is stuff out the back of the car. I don't like seeing crap hanging underneath it like headers. Everything should be flush on the bottom, and that's how come I got the gas tank mounted the way it is. Also mal ganz kurz, ich hasse das, wenn man hinter das Auto fährt und ganz viel sogenannte Shit runterhängen sieht. Also der Benzintank ist genauso positioniert, dass der nicht gesehen werden kann von hinten. Vielleicht ein ganz bisschen Schimmer, und den will ich auch ein bisschen polieren hier hinten. Anhängerkupplung kommt auch hier hinten dran. So the trailer hitch is going to go right here, and I've got myself some reinforcement bars that go right here, and I'm going to weld those in. I just got to put some lightning holes in them. And in case you watched the last video, the difference is I went ahead and put me a little bit more support in right here. So moving out to the front end of this thing. Now, the Corvette Connect and Cruise, this is the 430 horsepower version. Hell of a motor. I mean, it's the one that basically comes in the Camaro SS and the Corvette. And again, I explained it, I didn't want to get the 480 horsepower version because it's just a little bit too rough of an idle, and I'm looking for drivability, fairly good gas mileage, and I mean, shit, it's got 430 horsepower, so anyway. So what I did today is, this is actually not the Corvette or the Camaro front accessory drive, is what GM Performance Parts calls this thing. This is the one from the Cadillac CTS. Also das Kahlriemen-System hier ist eigentlich von Cadillac, und das kann man unter Teilnummer so und so bestellen. And this little sucker was, I think, right at 800 bucks. Now 800 bucks gives you all the bracketry, gives you the 130 amp alternator, gives you the power steering pump with the reservoir, the belt, all the tensioners. Got my tensioner over here. So basically it only took about a half an hour to put all this crap on here, despite the fact that this is about the shittiest instructions I've ever had. I mean, it's a photocopy and you can hardly even tell. And the good folks at GM Performance Parts, or whoever had a hangover when they were working the assembly line, assembling all these bolts right here, they got me some wrong bolts in here, and I know it's probably a difficult thing to do, but the bolts are wrong in here. These right here are the ones that are supposed to go in right up here. They'll bottom out. You can't put them in there. So no big deal. I'll order a couple of spare bolts, and I'll make a comment on the Summit Red website, or I'll call up GM Performance Parts just to let those guys know somebody's sleeping on the bag assembly line right down here. But anyway, the other big success story today was actually pretty simple. Is the power rack and pinion steering. The only thing I had to do here, and sorry Heights folks, I had to move this right here. As you see, I cut this little cab right in here, this little split, bent it exactly parallel to the ground, and what that did is it basically, because this thing was pointing directly right here, and the only thing I did is I just moved it up. Once I get everything adjusted on here and I get my couplings from the universal fit couplings for the steering column, I'll go ahead and put a nice TIG weld on this sucker right down here, and it'll be nice and tight. I didn't change the geometry here. These things are still pointing out here, and they're still pointing out here. So not a big deal at all. What else? Yeah, I like all this stuff. It actually fit pretty good. And I don't know what was off right here, but I actually have a good inch over here, a solid inch. And coming over here, just about a half an inch over here for that one connector. Now the connector can actually be moved. That's not a big deal. So everything's actually working out pretty good. Plenty of room down here. Nothing is even close to having interference issues right now. And I actually did move the motor up just a tad bit from the last time I had the little 283 in here. So motor sits good. Transmission is up on the ground. You can sell right here. That's a good guess right I have. Hell, that's a good 10 inches of clearance underneath here. And I'm kind of happy and stoked about that. I have exactly 12.5 inches right back here from center, and exactly 12.75 inches back there. So the axle's sitting about a 1/4 inch higher. Don't think that's going to make a big difference. And those that 2 to 3 to 4 degrees. Tail shaft sits right here, and it's got a little bitty angle to the back right here. That's just because of the way the offset is, and something about lubricating the little needle bearings inside of the universal joints. Anyway, everything's working out right now. Added that little piece right there. What else? So I'm going to clean up the shop right now and listen to little hooters, good tunes on the German radio station. And that's about it. I painted Carmen Ghia on Wednesday. Finally, we got some temperatures here that are going to get up into the high 70s, 80s. So the Carmen Ghia is another project I'm working on right now. And flip over to German real quick. Das war es eigentlich. Ich schätze mal noch so 30 Tage, vielleicht 40 Tage. Also auf jeden Fall vor Weihnachten und vor Thanksgiving wird das Auto hier fertig sein. Oder nicht fertig sein, aber der Rahmen wird fertig geschweißt. Dann schweiße ich den Boden noch rein, und dann, was ich schon vorher gesagt habe, Plan hier ist, dieses gleiche Kransystem hier zu nehmen, wenn der Boden reingeschweißt ist, und das ist eigentlich nur, ist nicht schwierig, das dauert halt nur Zeit, dann nehme ich halt diese Kran hinten und hebe das ganze Ding draußen an und mache ein bisschen Pressure Washing, also Hochdruckreiniger, und dann, wenn ich das Ding wieder bei mir zu Hause in Ronneburg habe, dann kann ich so ein Shit hier rausreißen, dann kommen einfach neue Fenster rein. Und ich suche immer noch ein Panoramadach von einem BMW X3 Kombi oder den X5, und der kommt dann hier rein mit Glasdach natürlich. Hey folks, that's about it. Rat Rod Plymouth build number 14. really good day right now. Everything worked out. Adjustability, mufflers in here, and I got some parts actually on the way right now so I can continue this project. Again, I'm thinking like 2 more Sundays, maybe 3, and this sucker is in my house in Runneberg, which is only about 6 or 7 kilometers from here, and I can continue the project from there, and then I've got no pressure anymore, because it's a kind of a pain coming out here, putting the tarp on it, dragging it in the shop. Takes about probably sometimes a half an hour, a good 45 minutes to get the thing set up. But anyway, there I can work on it every evening, or when I have a little bit of time and I have to clean up all my crap all the time because it's my shop. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Rat Rod Build, part number 14.